The match so far is mainly focused on Isagi, Yoichi, and Michael Kaiser's rivalry. However, with Itoshi Rin now having the spotlight, hell has now been let loose. What's going on, everybody? My name is Animasu, and today I'm going to be covering the Blue Lock Chapter 270 spoilers and leaks with you all, titled Break. If you like staying up to date with Blue Lock or just my content, please make sure to click that subscribe button, comment below your thoughts, and feel free to join my community Discord to interact with me directly. Without further ado, let's get into one of the most cute and yet saddest chapters of Blue Lock. Today's spoilers start us off as usual with intro text which states, "A monster with murderous intent has finally been born. A new massacre begins." The first thing shown is of course Itoshi Rin with possession of the ball, tongue hanging out and fully immersed into the game. Noah and Loki are shown to be surprised with Rin's awakening, as Ryusei then even screams out, demanding that Var give Rin a foul for his tackle. We then see Isagi monologuing though about how Rin actually touched the ball first, and just like in the U20 game, he's now bringing out his opponent's best, to then obliterate it. With his eyes full of focus and his tongue hanging out, Itoshi Rin is finally about to go all out in this game, as he begins by sprinting straight towards Ryusei. The loudmouth defender does take on a worried expression initially, but as Rin approaches closer, he actually locks in and prepares himself. Ryusei lunges out with his right arm and shoulder towards Rin, however immediately has his hand deflected as the destroyer lowers his core. Rin then seals Ryusei's fate by placing his left hand on his chest and pushing him off balance. However, in the same panel, kiyora can be seen sprinting in behind the shadows. The borderliner then attempts to dive in for a slide tackle on page 4. However, Rin replies by heel lifting the ball right into the air. In a difficult situation, holding off Ryusei at his back, with Kiyora on the ground in front of him, Rin makes the quick decision to pass off the ball instead of wasting any more energy. The pass was obviously to his student in training Ness, who leaps through the air to trap it, looking both surprised and concentrated. Rin then uses this moment to break free from Ryusei and continue on ahead, and is of course met with a pass back from Ness to complete the 1-2. The next person to arrive at Rin's front is Hiyori, who does seem to be a good technical matchup. Is what I would have said if Itoshi Rin didn't rainbow flick right over his head to just continue along like nothing ever happened. I guess Hiyori now feels the pain of Lorenzo from their last match, but all credit to Rin for the more graceful, efficient skill move. Also, Hiyori notes here that Itoshi Rin's concentration seems to be on a whole new level, showing that he is at least mentally growing in some way from Isagi's challenge. Anyways, the next page then changes over to the perspective of Isagi Yoichi, who is running parallel to Itoshi Rin. He's monologuing about how Rin hasn't once stopped the movement of the ball or himself, as he's just relentlessly barreling through like a train. It's a counter tailored to his passing and individual skills, which we saw via the 1-2 past Ryusei and the flick on Hiyori. Isagi then makes the realization that Rin has been aware of his movements the entire time, actually reading the field's flow with ease because of this. Unlike Michael Kaiser, who let go of his fixation to better perform, Itoshi Rin is a self-type egoist who benefits from his fixation on Isagi and Sai. Analyzing and picking through Itoshi Rin's mental structure, Isagi then begins to think on how he can use this information to bend this monster to his will. He even realizes that Rin is getting closer to that berserker state from the U20 match, and instead of fearing it, he just instead urges him to bring it all out. Unlike in that match where Itoshi Sai, a new generation genius, was there to handle him, nobody like that exists within this match on Bastion Munich. Isagi then vows to become Sai 2.0 and shut down Rin even in his fully awakened form, because after all, Rin did vow to kill him first. With Rin then nutmegging past one defender to then glide past another, Isagi continues on to explain that he really has no other choice here. Nobody can suppress Rin when the switch is flipped on, leaving him with no other choice but to take Sai's place. As Isagi sprints up the field while tapped into his metavision, he wonders over and over if he can do it, but immediately throws that notion to the side, realizing that it's a must. Right outside of the box, with Kagamaru literally in sight, Isagi finally crashes shoulder to shoulder with Itoshi Rin, as both players scream out about how they will be number 1. The puzzle and destroyer auras can even be seen clashing, and my assumption here is that Kagamaru will get a save, leaving to Rin further growing and understanding his berserker form. Crazy enough though, we then shift into a flashback of a young Itoshi Rin playing with his toys. He's drooling and fully enjoying the show, as he slams the monster toy into the hero, breaking it into pieces which fly all over his room. The destruction doesn't seem to bother Rin at all, but rather excites him and takes his full attention. Itoshi Sai then approaches from behind Rin, sticking a rag over his mouth to wipe away all of the drool. Patting his head while pulling back the rag, Sai then asks Rin if he's really having that much fun, which his brother responds and nods to. Sai then looks around at the destroyed toys on the ground, which causes Rin to look a little worried. Sai goes on to explain that toys are not like humans, because although they may not bleed, once they break, they won't heal from the injuries. This seems to be where the chapter's title comes in, revolving around Rin breaking his toys, but it goes so much deeper than that. This ties into his urge to destroy, his ego itself, and Sai's words are especially ironic considering what he did to Rin's mind. I'll save that for my upcoming Rin analysis video, but moving on from that, the young Rin just apologizes to Sai, going on to ask if he'll once again be scolded by his mom and dad for this. Although Sai more than likely knows the answer to this question is yes, he decides to instead cheer up Rin by taking him out for ice cream. As the two finish their dessert and reveal what's on the stick, it seems like Rin actually lost here compared to every other time that we saw him win with the stick. Sai however tells him not to worry about it, because until the day he dies, his older brother will remain right by his side. I'm not sure what this win-loss thing really refers to, but in my opinion, I think Rin pulling the losing stick here maybe means that he's gonna lose his matchup against Isagi to then be forced to awaken in this match further. It probably also ties into the context of that flashback, considering Sai said he'll never leave him, but we all know what actually happened in the end. The flashback then actually cuts out for the final page, which shows Isagi and Rin both in the air, going shoulder to shoulder. The tackle Isagi does on Rin even seems to mimic the one Itoshi Sai did to him in the U20 game, which is just an interesting detail I wanted to point out considering the theme of today's chapter. Anyways, with the final shot showing Itoshi Rin having a realization about his ego, the outro text then goes on to say, "The past with his brother. Rin's ego is unraveled in the woven memories. It seems like Rin will be awakening very soon, but I just think Gagamoru needs to save here first, so it might take a few more chapters." Anyways, we then have the upcoming chapter 271's title revealed to us, as Life is Beautiful, which sounds to me a lot like an Itoshi Rin Inside chapter once more. It could also refer to Michael Kaiser, or more specifically, Alexis Ness. However, I just think PXG will need to get their equalizer before anything more happens for BM. Kaiser more than likely has done enough this match, and he'll need to help Ikaguri via a free kick if he's going to do anything more. And as for Ness, I believe he's being saved for the winning goal with Isagi. Let me know what you guys think or theorize down below, as I always love reading through your unique perspectives and theories. One thing I could really use some help with is details and theories relating to Itoshi Rin's future in the story, because his current development just seems too similar to Kaiser's in my opinion. Rather than living on in people's hearts though, Rin instead just takes pleasure in destroying them efficiently while they use their own weapons. I'm also curious to know the deeper implications of Sai's words this chapter, as they obviously related to he and Rin's trauma, but I guess I'll save that for the full Rin theory video. With that sadly being the end of today's video though, I just want to thank you all so much for supporting the channel. If you all enjoy staying up to date with Blue Lock, or just enjoy my content, please support the channel by clicking that subscribe button, commenting below your thoughts, and also feel free to join my community Discord so you can interact with me directly. I hope you all have an amazing day, and I'll see you in my upcoming Itoshi Rin analysis, where we'll talk about his past, time in Blue Lock, and also future events in the story that I think will happen. My friends also told me to add extra audio to get the video to 8 minutes, so I'm not greedy, I was told to do this, I promise. Do 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 do.